Hello everyone, welcome to Square Media Network. My name is S.R. Ranjan and I'm a journalist. In today's episode of A Point of View, I would like to focus on an important issue of justice. What does justice mean as per the law of the nations and the people of the nation? What does justice mean to the people as human beings, as their human rights and as their fundamental rights, where the law of the nation rules in every nation? Justice is not an abstract issue, but an right of every human being or a people of the nation around the world. The justice system does not exist in vacuum, but is a legal guarantee to the people of the nation. In every nation, and for the people or the citizen of every nation, justice system exists as per the law of the nation and is meant for the people of the nation as a human right, as a fundamental right, as a legal course of process that guarantees justice, equality, and liberty to every citizen of that nation. Justice system is purely based and defined as per the law of the nation, the law of the land across the world. While we talk of justice, it is important to understand that justice and justice system cannot be based on any discrimination based on place of birth, race, caste, class, gender, ethnicity, or community. The law is equal to everyone, and so is justice equal to anyone. We can say the justice system must exist as justice as equality to everyone. As Mahatma Gandhi said, and I quote, an unjust law is in itself a species of violence, and arrest for its breach is more so. This is to understand that justice with an unjust law can never serve the purpose in a justice system. Montesquieu says, and I quote, there is no cruelty or cruel tyranny than that which is perpetuated under the shield of law in the name of justice. An unjust law, a biased law, can never serve the purpose of a justice system and can only lead to travesty of justice. It is also very well said that justice without law can lead to anarchy, and law without justice can prove to be a tyranny. Justice system for the people, for the citizens across the nation or in any country can only be maintained by equal laws that is equal to all. Take the example of the recent genocide in Gaza, where innocent people, women, children were mercilessly killed, also amounts to injustice to humanity. And anyone and everyone who have been responsible for this must be brought to justice in the court of international criminal justice or international criminal courts. Justice has to serve to people across nations. Not to forget, we must also question why Nobel Prize winners like Aung San Suu Kyi in Myanmar still is in custody or in prison, or why Iranian activist Narges Mohammadi is still in prison, although they have won Nobel Peace Prize. The world across and the nations must talk about it, and the international courts of justice, international criminal courts, must question as to why justice does not prevail in nations across the world to let people live with freedom. As Francis Bacon says, and I quote, if we do not maintain justice, justice will not maintain us. So, across the world leaders, the heads of the states, the lawmakers, the courts of law, the law executives, must explore and dwell and put to action to maintain the justice system in every nation for the people of the nation, for its citizens, and for every individual as per the law of the nation. The other issue with the justice system is the issue of an individual, of a citizen, or the people of nation being being subjected to legal process as per the rule of the law or as per the due process of the law. In adjudicating them as innocent or a guilty person, which results into incarceration of people across the nation. United Nations Article 11 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights says, and I quote, every human being is innocent until proven guilty. That is a fundamental element of fair trial as per the rule of the law. This is to state that every person in every nation who is charged with an offense must be presumed to be innocent until proven guilty in a fair public trial or a due process of law, and should not be subjected to cruel incarceration over long period of time. Take for example, in India, where the fundamental rights of the Constitution of India assures and secures to every citizen three basic fundamental rights. Article 14, which says equality before the law, that is, equal protection of the law and equality before the law. Article 15 guarantees every citizen individual of the nation that no discrimination would be done based on caste, religion, piece of blood, or sex to call it gender. Article 21 of the Constitution of India guarantees every citizen individual of the nation of the right to personal life and liberty. And in a broader terms, in the justice system of the nation, in the legal process which has been observed that bail is rule and jail is an exception. But in spite of that, as per the prison statistics of India, 75 to over 75% of the prisoners in India are under trials, and most of them are in the age group of 18 to 35. This manifests discrepancy in the justice system and the deliverance of jurisprudence in the nation. Why is it that these under trials? Prisoners who are mostly young stay in jails or prisons over years without being tried. And as the statistic says, prisons in India are overcrowded to the extent of 300 to 400%. Does the justice system fail these prisoners? Does the justice system fail the law of the nation as per the Constitution of India that guarantees fundamental rights to the citizens of this nation? The constitutional institutions, the lawmakers, the courts of law, the law executives must critically evaluate, deliberate on, and take actions to make the justice system more transparent, deliverable, so that the people of the nation can continue to have faith in the justice system, and the justice system must not fail the people of the nation. Over the decades, in a nation like India, there is a very important issue that is being said and discussed is as to why it is that justice delayed is justice denied. And over the decades and years, this has been recognized, understood, and deliberated on by all members of legal fraternity, social activists, the lawmakers, the courts of law, the law executive, and the nation must address this issue. It is also important in a nation like India that gender justice is maintained through gender neutral laws based on equality before the law and equal protection of the law without discrimination based on gender. So it is important not just across nations around the world, but across people within the nation that the justice system is equal to all. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, injustice anywhere is justice everywhere. Hope as a nation and people who seek, who hold important positions as heads of heads and important constitutional institutions deliberate upon justice system as a human right and fundamental right issue for every individual and people and the citizens of the nation. Hope to deliberate on most issues of justice and justice system with regards to jurisprudence, judgment, and justice for the people in our next episode. This is SR Ranjan signing off. Take care. God bless.